What's up, manga fans? This is Raphael from C Manga, and I'm here to give you a review of this week's chapter of the Breaker New Ways 153. So I enjoyed today's chapter. It was very enjoyable. There was a bit of everything in terms of the action we had at the beginning, the very frightening moments with Kang-Sung's health. It very seemed like it was deteriorating very quickly through this chapter. We had info between Jong-Lae-won and the Murin police chief about the Ma one, and basically, there's SUC agents infiltrated the NIS, so there's sleeper agents in there working undercover, and we find out what happened with the helicopter Chun-Woo was on after it departed and arrived in the police airport, or whatever the hell you call it. And then we had the obviously intense conversation at the end, and the surprise return of someone I really do have grown to like. So yeah, as I said, it was a decent chapter. We had a bit of everything in it, like I said, and quite a lot to enjoy. But the beginning of the chapter was quite interesting because it seems like Yong-Hyun Yan has some sort of vendetta against Ji-gun. He seems to want to fight him desperately. Ji-gun doesn't seem to have a clue what's going on. He's even asked, "What are you and Ji-Woo talking about?" I have no idea what's going on. And it's like Ji-gun kind of sort of strikes a nerve with Hyun-Young when he asks him, "Do you like Ji-Woo or something?" It's like, if you're so concerned, go and ask her. That pretty much makes him flip, and he's like, "I'm going to beat you down now." And he's like, "Draw out your sword," and starts recklessly and ruthlessly attacking Ji-gun. And Ji-gun even says like, "Wow, this situation, this fight, it's very intense for me," and he's not at an advantage. So he's basically said, "I need to find an opening as soon as possible so I can escape." And even with his sword, he's struggling against Hyun-Young with his gauntlet on his arm. So yeah, I can't actually remember if they've met before in the series, or like if we've been shown it, or if there's any like history between them with their vendetta. That Hyun-Young seems to have against Ji-gun. But yeah, he literally just says, "I remember why I hate you, because of you being so damn smart." So yeah, I'd like to see a bit more on their relationship, why Hyun-Young is so bitter towards him. So the next part is like what I said earlier. We see Jong-Lae-won basically reporting to the Murin police chief, informing him about the Ma1 medicine, and basically the police chief relays what happened with the helicopter when it arrived. No one was on there. The whole Nine Arts crew was gone, and like with the previous shadow snipers, the pilot was in a vegetative state. So it's like they couldn't even ask him what happened. So yes, this is apparent. There's SUC agents obviously infiltrated and lurking in the NIS corporation, and they have no idea who it is. Even Jong-Lae-won's asking, how can the higher ups not know this? But the Murin police chief is telling him to keep quiet and keep this between us. But I feel like the Murin police chief knows a lot more than he's actually letting on. And one important thing that happens, I said, which makes me hate Jong-Lae-won once again, that spineless little creep. He basically asked the chief for a favor, and that was to bring all the clan leaders to the Murin Alliance building to cause havoc with the whole promotion for Shi-Woon becoming chief alliance. And he's as I said, he's just being so manipulative once again. And even the chief has to ask, "Do you hate the kid that much that you would go this far?" And apparently Jong-Lae-won says he doesn't hate him, that's not the reason. But I just feel like he's taken his duties so far that he will do anything. Like he thinks it's for the greater good, but I just feel like he's so twisted in his work, he forgets the difference between morals and right and wrong. It's just like, I'm doing my duty, so I'll do whatever it takes. After that, as I said, we see Kang-Sung's state is deteriorating. He's lower ranked members have noticed this, but they're trying to obviously keep a straight face. Like Kang-Sung has mentioned, he needs to be strong for as long as possible. And he's informed guests have arrived, which we see are the Murin, the clan leaders that Jong-Lae-won had asked to arrive, and they're basically straight away up in arms disagreeing with Kang-Sung about his decision to hand over his position to the Sun-Woo Gaiju so easily and without their consideration or consent. And it's like they know Shi-Woon is, the Nine Arts Dragon's previous disciple, so they're reprimanding for making such a stupid decision, even reprimanding one of Kang-Sung's followers, like, who's trying to defend him, and they're saying this has nothing to do with you. How dare a low-rank person like you, answer to a elder? And it's like, it just makes you think, there, what arseholes. You can tell they're the old school Mirim with their, I'm superior rank attitude, and you could tell it really got to the guy. He cares for Kang-Sung, so he's going to speak out, but they're shutting him down and basically telling you to keep your mouth shut and don't speak. So yeah, this is all basically gone according to Jong Le-won's plan. He's grinning, thinking, yes, the clan leaders had already cut off the Sun-Woo clan from, the Mirim Alliance before, and the fact that they're frightened of the Sun-Woo's gaining power, and obviously their previous revenge, which they think they still have a grudge they're holding against all the other clans. They don't want them to have this new power, so they're frightened. But we see the Sun-Woo clan arrive after, and Elder Kwon's basically badass as usual. It's like, I heard you talking about the Sun-Woo clan. It's like, the Gaiju is here if you would like to ask questions. And they pretty much disregard Shi-Woon, and one of them blatantly says, I have a problem with this situation, I'm asking you, Elder Kwon. Elder Kwon cuts them off straight away and says, oh, so you have a problem with this situation? That's very interesting. It's like, fine then. It's like, I challenge any of you to fight me if you don't agree with this, and I'll basically beat the approval into you, which I love. It's just like, this guy is just so straightforward and demanding with his thing. But this is where it got a bit more intense when a Grandmaster apparently steps out, some guy with long hair and glasses, and he's like, so would you like to challenge another Grandmaster? And I'm like, oh, okay. So a third Grandmaster has been introduced to the series. I'd really like to know who this guy is. But this is where the situation gets a bit more dire. Kang-Sung is literally on death row. He's saying, I can't see anymore, blacking out. He's feeling very faint. And just as it looks like he's, completely blacking out, my favorite guy, I have to say now, the ghostly doctor returns. Ju Sang-Sik arrives in typical fashion, swearing like, what the hell am I doing here? Why have I been asked to come here, and what for? And everyone's just looking surprised, like, oh my gosh, the ghostly doctor, why is he here? And it's like, his reputation speaks for itself, but his attitude also, demands attention and respect that everyone else, even, Elder Kwon is like gasping or, in shock to see him. So it's great to see him again. I really do like him after, especially his fight with Shi-Woon, and I feel like he's going to be very useful in terms of what happens next. I did mention before that I think Ju Sang-Sik, as a theory, he could return, and I was hoping maybe he could heal Kang-Sung, and the way things look, maybe he can heal Kang-Sung, but Kang-Sung won't obviously be Mirim martial arts alliance chief anymore, because he'd be too weak to use martial arts, but he could save his life at least, so he could carry on living. Hopefully that could happen. But I think the main reason Ju Sang-Sik will be here is to obviously support Shi-Woon's, his promotion to chief and all of his actions. He did say before, at the end of their fight, to Elder Kwon, raise Shi-Woon well. I'm rooting for the Sun-Woo clan's good fortune, so I can't see him going against them and siding with those arsehole old elders. This guy seems to have more respect and hopefulness, and he looks outside of what the arrogant minds of the other elders or clan leaders would look. So I could see him supporting the decision for Shi-Woon to become Mirim Alliance chief after Kang-Sung's hands it down. So yeah, that was the chapter today. As I said, there was quite a bit to read. It was enjoyable. I can't wait to see what will happen next, and I've given you my predictions, what I think will happen. So yeah, you guys know the usual. If you enjoyed the chapter, leave any comments, opinions, or predictions in the comment box below. I'd love to hear of them from you. And also, if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more content in the channel, and I'll speak to you guys next week.